Welcome to this week's yoga video. Today we're looking at how to motivate ourselves in our practice. So we all get up in the morning and we have in good intentions, or when we go to bed we have good intentions on when we're going to practice the next day. And then the day's events start taking place and there's demands on our attention. But getting into a practice doesn't mean that you've got to create this perfect space. It can be anywhere, in your house, in your garden, just laying out your mat and finding just a few minutes for yourself. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you've got to do a full flow. It can be just sitting and breathing, and that's exactly what we're going to do to start this practice today. So I want you to close your eyes and find that comfortable position in the body. So creating a yoga practice, the purpose is to find that connection again with the mind and the body. And we do that by simply breathing and focusing our awareness on the breath. Noticing the expansion in the body with the breath. And immediately you will notice the deeper that you connect in with the breath, the quicker you'll start calming any tension and activity in the mind. It might be a subtle agitation. It may be just a frustration of trying to find time to do things, demands on you. But by slowing the breath down and bringing that breath down into the stomach, you're giving the body exactly what it needs. We've got to try and get out of that subtle tension that we can bubble away all day and not really notice the damage it's doing to our bodies. So by slowing everything down, it can be just simply 5 minutes of sitting and breathing. You don't have to roll out your mat. You could find a seat. You could go out in the summer months, out in the garden, in a chair, with your morning drink, and just sit and breathe. And every time, all the demands of the day, of the week, families, work, come into the mind, bring your awareness straight into that breath. And notice how the chest expands. And bring that stomach down, bring the breath down into the stomach. Taking some nice deep breaths. Just giving your body this moment is so beneficial. And you're not going to stop the demands, they're going to keep coming. But you can start bringing your focus onto the body and the needs and the demands of the body. And let's bring that into our movement. So let's have 4 more breaths, deep, full breaths. As we breathe in, expanding into the stomach, and as we breathe out, allow the body just to soften. Sound the breath. The importance of all the senses activated is that every part of the movement can create either more tension or allow you to sink deeper into the relaxation. So with you breathing in, you can listen to the sound of the breath. Find that expanse, and as you breathe out, a nice big sighs, the whole body softens. Now you might still notice that there's activity behind the eyes are flickering, eyelids flickering, tension between the eyebrows, and bring a smile to your face. Doesn't matter if anyone can see you or not. It's your practice, your body, your stress levels. So as you breathe in with a nice big smile, and all the muscles of the face will soften. And then with our eyes closed, keeping that full awareness in the body, just gently start moving the body from side to side. So we've done this before, this gentle activation, starting from the base of the spine. This is a wonderful movement to get the energy moving in the body. And even if you're doing this practice in the evening, getting the energy moving is not something that's going to wake you up necessarily, but it's going to get rid of that stagnant energy and help you sleep better. So this soft movement we can do in the evening or the morning. In the morning, what it's going to do is help get the digestive system moving. Just rocking the body from side to side, this movement, side to side, moving all the digestive system, the side muscles, the back, the stomach. We can create small circles. And if you're doing this in the evening practice, just slow it down and work with the breath and allow all the tension of the day to be released from your shoulders, from your back, from the lower back, the stomach, the neck. And never underestimate the benefit of small movements in your yoga practice. People get stuck in this desire to have strong flows, but the benefit is in slowing everything down and activating all the muscles, getting deeper into what the body needs. And then let's work in this seated cat-cow. Again, we've done this before, but let's bring this super awareness to it as we breathe in, opening through the chest, finding length, drawing those shoulder blades down the back, and then releasing, drawing the stomach back towards the spine. Having this lovely flowing effect through the body. Really connecting in with the breath. And then let's bring our hands across the chest as though we're giving ourselves a hug. And then gently moving from side to side in these little semicircles. Now notice if by doing this you immediately tightened up around the shoulders. Soften. This constant practice of movement with soft awareness. These deep breaths. And just bring your full awareness into the muscles that you're moving. Just touching into the resistance and then backing off, keeping the body nice and fluid. And then relax. Let's gently open our eyes and bring our hands into Namaste. And again, let's connect with the breath. Relax the shoulders down, taking the arms all the way up through the center line, and then taking the arms out to shoulder height. Now here we can do this with a full connection as we breathe in, taking these arms out, getting activation through the whole of the arms. And now let's work with the breath. Breathing in, let's take the palms up towards the ceiling and then in together. Then breathing out, turn the hands back so the palms are face forward and bringing down. Breathe in as we take them back out and then relax as we bring the breath into the exhale. So let's work again. Turning the hands up as we breathe in. Hands up as we breathe out. Hands forward and down as we breathe in. And out. Let's do 4 more. Don't worry if you change the breath. Just every movement has a deep inhale and an exhale. Just working with a separation in the breath. And let's have one more. Breathe in, up, and move the hands and down, and in, and release down. Bring the palms of the hands up towards the ceiling, closing your eyes, and just allow that energy from the shoulders to radiate around the body. Enjoy the fullness of the breath. You should really start feeling that fluid activation of the breath now as we gently bring a little bit more awareness, a little bit more activity. Now let's rock forward onto our hands and knees, come into the tabletop position. Taking our block out. And so tabletop position is that definite go-to position morning and night. Always bring this into your practice because it's one of the best ones for your back, to mobilize the back. And it doesn't matter whether you have back problems, this is super safe and you are not going to bring any more damage into your back if you're worried about that. This is going to create a nice softness and fluidity. So pushing down the tops of our feet, coming in until you find any stiffness. Now let's bring this extra layer of awareness into this practice. So I'll get to about here and I can start feeling into my lower back. So I'm going to soften the breath and I might take my bottom back a little bit. And as I do that, I transition deeper into the lower back. If I get to here and I can feel tightness and heaviness in my shoulders, I'm going to soften my neck, allow the head to drop down, and I'm just going to gently lift a little bit higher into one side. So I'm transitioning at the moment over into my right side and lifting and arching that little bit more into the side of the body to release that shoulder. And do the same on the other side. So it's still a cat flow, we're still rounding up, but just getting that deeper layer of awareness. And the same when we come down to cow. Bring that awareness into the fact that we're now trying to stretch this psoas muscle. And what we do is we send the sit bones up. If the psoas muscle's really tight, you notice that you're not going to get a lot of movement into the back. The bottom's not going to get up too high. So keep working with that. Find your resistance. Now I can get a little bit deeper and stretch the psoas muscle and allow the sit bones to come up. And I'm just going to gently lengthen through the front of the chest. Create space between the shoulders, not sinking down now. I've got a nice contact into my hands and get that deep awareness pushing down into that psoas muscle. You don't want to do this after you've eaten because it brings a bit of a nausea feeling to the body. So this nice pushing down into that psoas muscle. And then let's come back into cat again. Find that deeper layer of awareness up through the back of the body. I'm going to take my hands a little bit further forward so I can push deeper into the lower back. And that's where I've got a bit of tightness this morning. So I'm going to spend that extra awareness, and now I'm just going to rock slightly and I can come over into the right hip. Just little micro movements, but it allows me to get deeper into the lower back muscles. Over to the other side, radiating over, getting some nice movement. And then I'm going to bring my hands back underneath my shoulders and then come into the psoas. So what I want you to do with your cat-cow as we're developing our home practice is you really start feeling the micro movements, this little bit more, relaxing the shoulders, making sure we're not dropping down like turtles, but finding length into the arms. Notice my arms are nice and straight. I'm not softening into the arms. I'm keeping the structure. And it allows me to pull through the front of the body into that psoas. And then I'm going to rock back into hero's pose. I'm going to come back onto my knees. And then just gently coming up into this nice tall position. Now, if you have problems with your knees, then bringing your foam block or a cushion behind gives extra space between the knees. Also, if you've got problems into the ankles, grab hold of a cushion, pop them underneath, pop a cushion underneath. If you feel that you want to have more space here where your bottom comes down onto the heels, bring your foam or your foam block or your cushion here. And again, it's hero's pose. It's a simple movement, but if you have tightness in your knees, this is going to be very strong through here, so take it easy. Allow this quadricep muscle to lengthen. So let's have a look at different levels here. If you've got problems with your knees, bring the bottom up a little bit higher. Use cushions, use blocks. Because what we're going to do is try and lengthen through the front of the body here and into the hip flexors. So we're coming back past the centre line. For some people, this is going to be as strong as they want to get. And then notice we've got the activation into the core. And simply just breathing in this position and then rocking forward. Now notice the muscles that you use as you come back and then drawing you through again. Now if your knees are okay and you want to get a little deeper, we're going to rock even further back and allow this body then to come all the way over. And we notice now that you've got this activation to the thighs, into the lower abdominal muscles. Now notice this activation in the lower abdominal muscles. You want to engage the pelvic floor muscles. Remember, the pelvic floor muscles are the base of the core. So without activating that, you're not allowing that support. So if you're on the second position, then bring the arms up, finding length. Bring the head back down so we're not arching into the chin, just keeping this nice length through the body. And then bring the body forward, rocking forward and straight up into this small cat position. And then dropping back again. Position 1, come into this kneeling, slightly coming back to the centre line. So you're activating the core, give yourself time to activate the pelvic floor muscles. Position 2, coming back. Taking the arms up, engaging the core muscles, engage the pelvic floor. Start getting some strength into the core muscles. And then release, coming into this small cat position. What we're doing is releasing that lower back as we come up. Notice we're not in full cat because my positioning, my knees are not directly underneath my hips. It's a very small version. And then we're going to do one more, coming back, position 1 into your hero's pose, then slightly back, activating the core, activating the pelvic floor. Position 2, coming up and holding, having a round of breath, breathing and releasing. And now we're going to come forward straight into our downward facing dog. So moving your cushion and coming up into a downward facing dog. We're going to do something slightly different in our downward facing dog. First of all, we're going to pace as normal. So we're pedaling in. Again, bring that awareness to this movement where as one heel goes down, the other heel goes up. And we get that nice stretch into the back of the legs. So the perfect stretch for runners where it allows you to get this deep stretch to the back of the body, the back of the legs. And also because we haven't done any work into the hamstrings, it allows us to start softening. We don't want to go into strong positions until we have lengthened each part of the body, giving every part of the body that little bit of awareness. Just breathing and releasing. And then we're going to come a little bit stronger. So we're going to take our feet into hip distance. Now remember, hip distance is not the outside of the hips. Your feet are really close together. And then bringing the knees down towards the mat. And then the sit bones coming up towards the ceiling. So looking down, you'll notice that the bottom parts of my legs are virtually parallel to the mat. And then my thighs are in this 90-degree angle and the bottom's coming up towards the ceiling. And here we're going to do 3 of these and then come back into your downward facing dog, finding length, and then back into the position. This is the second one. And then up. And then the third one. Now notice my heels are not coming onto the floor. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried when we come up into the downward facing dog, bring my heels down. I want to concentrate on finding length and allowing the sit bones to come up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to step the right leg through. So in this position, this is where if you've got a block to use it here, I'm just going to use these foam blocks here. And I'm going to give myself a little bit more space. In fact, I'll use 2. And I've got my hand here. And bringing this right leg in. Notice my left leg is nice and straight. And then I'm going to unfold and take the right arm up towards the ceiling, creating this line. Keep this right knee into the body. Left leg nice and strong. And we're going to hold this for 4 breaths. So keep with me, breathing. Let's find some nice deep movement into the body. 4 breaths. Finding length. Breathing and releasing. And 1 more breath. And then bringing the hands down, getting your stability, checking that back foot is in a lunge. We're now going to bring the body up slightly. Now notice I've got this line from the crown of the head to the back of that foot. And then I'm going to take my arms back. Now if you can interlace your fingers and keep the arms straight, then please do. If you find this difficult, drop the back knee down and release the arms. And we're going to have this for 3 breaths. Breathing, finding length from the back of the heel to the crown of the head. Breathing and releasing. One more nice deep breath. And then release the arms and coming up into a pyramid shape. Notice now that both my legs are straight, and then I'm going to bring my body forward just slightly, just enough so I get this hamstring stretch through here. I'm going to bring my hands in Namaste to release the shoulders. And make sure you keep a gentle softness into that front knee. And let's have 3 breaths. Keeping it nice and strong, enjoying that hamstring stretch. And then release. We're coming down into downward facing dog. Move your cushions out the way, stepping back into your downward facing dog, releasing in the back of the body. Now notice where we've stretched one hamstring, that's going to be slightly easier than the other. Enjoying the position, and let's come back to do one of these bent leg downward facing dogs. So allowing some length through the back of the body. The thighs are in that 90-degree angle, bottom up towards the ceiling, lower part of my shins parallel to the mat. And then back up, and this time I'm stepping the left leg through. Bringing my blocks, creating this nice firm structure. Back leg straight, left leg in, so it's not coming out to the sides, to get this firm foundation with your front foot, and then gently unfolding. And I'm going to hold this position for 4 breaths. So stay with me. Keep working, keep checking your position. Breathing, enjoying the structure of this position, this opening through the body. So 2 more breaths. Breathing. Excellent. 1 more breath. Absolutely perfect. So move that blocks away, and then find this length through the back of the leg again. We're going to get this feeling of crown to heel, and this time let's bring the arms forward. So we extend the arms even further. Breathing. Stay with me. 2 more breaths. Excellent. Keep going. And then let's finish this round by bringing the hands into Namaste. And then looking out this tiny back bend as we come up into our pyramid shape through the legs. And let's just bring a slight back bend into this position, finding length through the body. As we come up tall, relax those shoulders down, breathing and releasing, and then folding over, finishing the round with a downward facing dog. And then bringing the knees down, coming into a nice wide angled child's pose. Bringing your bottom back towards the heels, finding length through the body, and then dropping the head down. Taking 4 nice deep breaths. And then release, bringing the body back up, grabbing hold of your foam block or a cushion, coming into a cross-legged position, and a comfortable cross-legged position for you. So that might be having your legs out into cobbler pose or coming into a cross-legged position, whatever's comfortable for you, using the cushion or the block just to lift the sit bones up. And then just relaxing, eyes closed, and bring our full awareness into the breath. Taking some nice, deep, connecting breaths. And then just let's think about that practice that we've just done. How we've managed through a few postures to activate every part of the body. We did our shoulders, the arms, our back, the psoas, the front of the body, our core muscles, into the thighs, the back of the legs. And then getting some nice twist movements into the back in our standing postures and some strength work. A nice, full, complete practice that's invigorated the body. And now let's just spend a few moments settling back down into that wonderful sense of relaxation that we can control through our breath. Breathing in and finding that joy in the softness of the body, the fluidity that the breath brings us. Enjoying that feeling of ease, of release. Let's bring our full awareness into just softening into this position. Feeling the breath starting to settle from the practice. Feeling the expansion of the chest in the body. Now bring your awareness to the activity of the mind. Notice the difference from the start of the practice, when we first settled down and really enjoyed that feeling of breath in the body, to now how we've created a softness, a stillness. Those thoughts are still there, but there seems to be this distance now. And that's incredibly powerful, because you know that whatever thoughts are coming into the mind, you have options. You can attach yourself to them and think about them over and over again and play the stories out and the conversation. Or you can give yourself a break. Get onto your mat, into your meditation position, into a chair, go for a walk, and breathe, and notice the movement of the body. Notice the movement of the breath, the expansion, the release. And notice the control that you have, whether you choose to use it or not. And let's finish in a soft meditation practice, where we're going to gently just focus, as we did last week. Let's perfect this on that point between the eyebrows. Just focus your awareness there internally. And as you breathe in, imagine this beautiful blue indigo spiraling light in the center of your forehead. And the more you focus, the softer you become, the softer the eyes as you smile, the more clarity you bring, the lightness, the sparkle of this vortex of energy. Notice the clarity there. Keep bringing your awareness to that point. As you breathe in the clarity of thought, that clarity, that stillness that you feel now. After that practice, it doesn't need to be a long practice to find this feeling, this sense of importance that you give yourself time. Yoga practice is not a luxury. It's essential for you and your health. It's essential for your energy, your calmness, your emotions, your hormones. Now let's breathe in and focus on that point with a smile. And as you breathe in deeper into the body, as you feel more connected with the body, that point, that focus point, that chakra point, the third eye becomes clearer. Your yoga practice becomes more connected. Your desire to see so much more clearly the things that are important to you. And remember your choice. You can attach yourself to the dramas, or you can soften and breathe. And remember the importance of compassion for your body and what your body needs in this moment. Let's have 4 more deep breaths together.